In the darkness, life begins to stir. A dinosaur egg cracks open slowly. A baby T-Rex emerges into the world. It cries out, searching for its mother. The forest answers with echoes. Soon, the mother returns to protect her child. She feeds it, giving warmth and safety. The baby's eyes shine with curiosity. It stumbles around, exploring its new world. The siblings gather around the hatchling. They sniff and nudge, welcoming the newcomer. The little one playfully bites at them. It annoys its brother, disturbing his rest. The elder brother leads him outside. Together they enter the forest. The young one learns how to hunt. But curiosity pulls him too far. He steps into another dinosaur's territory. A Tyrannosaurus rises, claws gleaming. It towers over the young T-Rex. The herbivore roars in warning. The little one freezes in fear. The elder brother leaps to protect him. The siblings face the giant together, but they are no match for its strength. They quickly retreat, hearts racing. The little one squeals in panic. The elder feels ashamed of his weakness. Back at the nest, they tell their mother. She listens, calm and stern. She decides to defend her family's honor, but danger still lurks nearby. A scarred Tyrannosaur, one eye appears. He lost an eye in brutal battles. Now he roams as a feared predator. His roar shakes the forest. He searches for prey to kill. Even armored dinosaurs fear him. An Allosaurus faces him bravely. Its clubbed tail smashes rocks. But one eye is relentless. He lunges at the armored beast. The clash shakes the ground. The Ankylosaur strikes again. But one eye dodges quickly. He bites down on its neck. Blood flows, the Ankylosaur weakens. It collapses in defeat. One eye roars in triumph. He devours his fallen prey. Meanwhile, the little T-Rex tries to hunt, but his clumsy moves scare the prey away. Suddenly, the ground trembles violently. A massive herd stampedes through the forest. Dust and thunder fill the air. The young T-Rex is caught in the chaos. He nearly dies under their heavy feet. At the last moment, his brother saves him, but the brother is trampled to death. The family is devastated. The mother leads the young ones to safety, but danger comes again. One eye appears before them. He challenges the mother to a brutal fight. The mother defends fiercely, but one eye's strength is overwhelming. He forces her to the cliff's edge. She roars in defiance, then falls into the abyss. The little T-Rex watches in despair. He is now an orphan. Alone, he wanders the land. Hunger torments him day and night. Predators lurk everywhere. He hides from dangers in fear. Sometimes scavengers chase him away. Even small dinosaurs bully him. Above, giant pterosaurs rule the skies. One has a wingspan of 12 meters. He stumbles into their nesting grounds. He steals food out of desperation. The mother pterosaur attacks fiercely. He tumbles into the water, barely surviving. Shaken, he crawls to safety. He returns to his old home. But one eye now rules there. The little one trembles with hate. He steals scraps of meat in secret. One eye nearly catches him. He flees through the water and escapes. Humiliated, he hides in fear. Time passes. He grows stronger. His body hardens with scars. One day, he meets another young T-Rex. This one too had lost his family. They decide to survive together. They learn to hunt as a team. Years pass. They grow into hunters. They defend themselves against rivals. But one eye has not disappeared. One Eye suddenly appears once more. He ambushes the two young Tyrannosaurs. They try to fight back, but One Eye's power overwhelms them. One friend is badly injured. Little Spot pulls him away. They flee desperately through the forest. By chance, they find a hot spring. The warm waters ease his wounds. They rest, safe for a while. Their bond deepens in hardship. Together, they endure the cruel world. Time passes quickly. Little Spot grows into a strong hunter. At last, he finds a mate. The eggs soon begin to hatch. Tiny lives emerge with chirps. Hope returns to his heart. But happiness does not last long. The earth quakes violently. A volcano erupts with fury. Flames and ash cover the sky. The land bursts into chaos. Little Spot flees with his family, but in the cave, rocks fall. One hatchling is crushed instantly. Another is thrown aside, injured. The mother strains to hold the stones. Her body is gravely wounded. They escape, hearts heavy with grief, but the mother grows weaker. Her strength fades away. At last, she collapses on the path. Her death leaves the family broken. Before sorrow eases, a scavenger pack surrounds them. It is a group of trudentids. They screech, hungry for flesh. Little Spot roars angrily, but he dares not risk his young. He grabs them and flees. The scavengers give chase. They attack from all sides, but his strength shatters their ranks. He crushes them without mercy. Blood stains the ground. He carries his young through the chaos, but grief weighs heavily on him. He looks back one last time at his mate. With a roar of sorrow, he leaves her behind. With his children, Little Spot continued forward. After a long journey, they reached the coast. It was a paradise filled with food and water, but danger still lurked nearby. One Eye had followed them. This time, he set his eyes on the young. The earth trembled once again. Herds stampeded in panic. The young T-Rexes were swept away. It mirrored the nightmare of his childhood. Once again, One Eye was the cause. Rage surged inside Little Spot. One Eye charged mercilessly. He struck the young with brutal force. One child was gravely wounded. He turned toward the last survivor, but Little Spot rushed to block him. He roared, ready to fight to the death. Their final battle had begun. One Eye was seasoned in combat. Little Spot had youth and fury. They clashed with thunderous force. Neither side yielded. The fight was evenly matched. But disaster struck again. The last hatchling was flung aside. It cried out in pain. Little Spot's rage exploded. He rammed One Eye with all his strength. He knocked him off the cliff. Little Spot rushed to look down. His child was still alive, but One Eye also survived. He rose again from below. Seeing him target the young once more, Little Spot charged without hesitation. The two titans fell into the ocean. They fought beneath the waves. Their bodies struggled in the water, but neither stopped attacking. They battled for hundreds of rounds. The sea turned red with blood, but the ocean had its own ruler. The giant Mosasaurus emerged. It was the true king of the sea. One Eye caught its attention. The Mosasaurus lunged at him. It dragged him into the deep. One Eye vanished forever in the abyss. Little Spot had finally avenged his family. The waves calmed after the battle. Little Spot struggled back to shore. Exhausted, he reunited with his child. The young one whimpered, but survived. For the first time, peace returned. Father and child depended on each other. But the land was still unstable. Volcanoes erupted, shaking the earth. Ash clouds darkened the skies. Food and water grew scarce. Herbivores starved, predators fought fiercely. Survival became harder each day. Little Spot hunted tirelessly. Sometimes he succeeded, often he failed. He scavenged remains left by others. His child learned by watching. Together, they grew stronger. They encountered other predators. Each encounter was dangerous. Little Spot avoided needless fights. He knew every injury could be fatal. Still, he defended his child fiercely. Scars covered his body, but his will remained unbroken. He grew patient and cunning. He stalked prey silently. A swift strike saved his strength. Slowly, his hunts improved. Confidence returned to him. But his past still haunted him. The memory of One Eye lingered. Each roar in the distance chilled him. He vowed to protect his child no matter what. The land grew harsher. Ash blocked the sunlight. Forests withered into wastelands. Rivers dried into cracked soil. Herds of dinosaurs migrated endlessly. Little Spot followed in search of food. But competition was brutal. Predators attacked one another. The weak fell quickly. Only the strongest survived. Little Spot endured. His child learned resilience. They pressed forward together. Every day was a struggle. Every hunt was a gamble. But they survived against the odds. The age of dinosaurs marched toward its end. One day, Little Spot saw two ceratopsians battling. They fought for a female and dominance. The clash shook the ground. The younger one triumphed, breaking his rival's horn. The defeated one was cast out. Without his horn, he was as good as prey. Little Spot moved in to strike. But suddenly, a Herrerasaurus blocked his way. It raised its massive claws, full of menace. Territorial and fearless, it would not yield. The fight began instantly. The Tyrannosaurus swung with deadly force. Little Spot dodged, using the trees for cover. The giant claws stuck deep into the trunk. Little Spot seized the moment. He bit down with full strength. Blood spilled as the foe roared. The Tyrannosaurus collapsed. Little Spot roared in triumph. Nearby scavengers circled. They hoped to steal his kill. But his roar drove them off. He devoured his victory meal. Strength slowly returned to his body. Each battle hardened him further. He bore more scars, but stood proud. His resolve only grew stronger. He began to seek One Eye again. The day of vengeance was near. He patrolled his territory with authority. Other predators dared not approach. He was feared and respected. But the cries of his family haunted him. Hatred burned brighter each night. The earth itself grew restless. Quakes and eruptions shook the land. Herds fled in every direction. Ash filled the skies. Forests turned to wastelands. But Little Spot endured. His instincts grew sharper. His strength greater with each fight. He hunted with patience and precision. Even rivals began to avoid him. He had become a true predator. But he was not yet satisfied. One Eye still lived in his memory. Every roar recalled his vow. He waited for the final reckoning. The destiny of predator and prey drew near. One day, he spotted a herd of herbivores. They moved together for safety. Predators lingered on the edges. Little Spot watched quietly. He studied their movements with patience. At last, a weak one strayed behind. Little Spot launched his attack. The herd scattered in panic. The prey fell beneath his jaws. He roared in victory. But danger was never far away. Other predators appeared to challenge him. Fights were brutal and quick. He survived through cunning and strength. Scars covered his skin, but each one marked survival. He avoided wasting energy. Every strike had to count. But vengeance still haunted him. One eye remained in his mind. He trained with each hunt. The final clash was drawing near. The land shook with storms and fire. The world grew darker each day. Dinosaurs fled in chaos. Some vanished forever. But Little Spot endured. Years hardened his body. His instincts became razor sharp. He sensed shifts in power. The strong lived, the weak perished. He was ready to take his place. Hunger pushed him forward. Each day tested his will. He met rivals on the plains. Each fight more dangerous than the last, but he always rose again. He was no longer the weak hatchling. He had become a true predator. Yet revenge still drove him. He would not rest until One Eye fell. Each hunt prepared him. His strength grew with time. He claimed his own territory. Other beasts stayed clear. He was king of his domain. But fate had more in store. Soon, One Eye would return. The final reckoning approached. Little Spot steeled himself for destiny. If he continued to grow, he could reclaim everything he had lost. One day, it would all be his again. Every scar, every memory, avenged. Then, a Tyrannosaurus clashed with a Herrerasaurus. The sight was shocking. An absurd battle of giants. What led to this moment? Earlier, two ceratopsians had fought. They battled fiercely for a female. Though herbivores, their power was immense. Nearby, One Eye watched intently. The feud between tyrants and horned ones had lasted through ages. Every meeting meant a fight. The two ceratopsians locked in combat. The winner would gain the herd and the favor of the female. Both gave everything they had. At last, the younger triumphed. He broke his rival's horn. The loser was driven away. Without his horn, he was defenseless. One Eye seized the chance. He charged at the weakened prey. But suddenly, a Herrerasaurus appeared. It spread its claws wide, unafraid. Territorial rage burned in its eyes. One Eye roared, ready to fight. The two beasts clashed violently. The Herrerasaurus swung its claws, each strike deadly and precise. But One Eye was cunning. He circled around the trees. The claws struck and stuck into wood. The Herrerasaurus was trapped. One Eye lunged at the opening. His teeth sank deep into flesh. Blood poured as the foe cried out. The Herrerasaurus staggered. One Eye overpowered his enemy. The beast fell to the ground. One Eye roared in triumph. His strength seemed unstoppable. From afar, Little Spot watched. Fear and hatred burned inside him. One Eye devoured his kill. The scene seared into Little Spot's memory. He vowed to avenge his family. One day, he would end One Eye's reign.